Hello everyone, I hope you don't have an appetite right now because if you do, it's going to get ruined. In today's video, I decided to pit two horrible burgers against each other and ask you, the viewer, which of the two would you rather eat? I mean, maybe if you were stranded on a small island with no food? I feel like that would be the only scenario to eat one of these abominations, to be honest. I guess you could say this is a sort of, best of the worst, except with bad food instead of bad movies. Since I usually talk about Jack on this channel, let's go ahead and look at his burger first. First up, we have Jack's infamous bison tacos and burgers video. I will obviously skip the taco section, but at the start of the video, Jack explains his introduction to bison.
Wow, 70 episodes. It seems like just last week it was 69. So let's talk about bison now, because that's what the episode's about. Bison, I got a call from a company. Here it is, bison. Got a call from a company called Blue Bison. That's right. You can go to their website, Crown Blue Bison, and they asked me, they said, hey, Jack, you ever done a show on bison? I'm like, nope. And they're like, do you know what bison is? I'm like, don't know what bison is. I'm such an idiot. But I'm not going to lie. So they're like, well, bison's buffalo, and it's really good, and it's leaner, and it's got better qualities. So anyway, they asked if I wanted to do an episode on bison. If I did, they'd send me some ground bison, and I could do a video on it. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, I've never tasted bison, so I don't know if I'm going to like it. But from what I've heard, you have to be careful. You can't cook it too much, and it's pretty good.
So somehow, he got free bison meat from some company out of the blue, no pun intended, by the way. And even though he tells the company that he has no idea what the fuck bison is, they still send it to him anyways. I can't tell which one of these is more stupid than the other. Right after admitting that he's never heard of nor tasted bison, he seems to believe that he's going to be able to whip up something amazing that'll blow away the audience.
Now let's go make a bison burger. Okay, I got a whole pound of bison left, so we're gonna make a bison burger out of it. It's gonna be real simple. I'm not going to get all fancy on this, but I am going to add a little something extra. Pound of ground bison, garlic powder, a little bit of some dried chopped onions. There we go. Here we go. I'm going to crack an egg in there.
Why the hell would you crack eggs in there? You said you were making a burger, not a fucking meatloaf, dude. Also, I can't stand the way he used to crack his eggs with his knuckle. I'm pretty sure he stopped doing this because he probably kept getting shell fragments in his eggs afterwards.
Top it off. Some of the best teriyaki sauce you'll ever taste. Just for a little kick, a little flavor. All right, a lot of flavor. There we go. Now, you're thinking, ew, there's a lot of liquid in there. How am I gonna hold that all together? I'm gonna mix it, it's gonna fall apart when I fry it. Well, that's why you get the breadcrumbs out. Love breadcrumbs. What breadcrumbs do, they add a little substance, but they also hold everything together.
What the fuck is this? The teriyaki sauce was already a weird addition, but then he added breadcrumbs on top of that. You don't need binders for a burger patty, you dumbass. This makes absolutely no sense. A burger is supposed to be juicy, but you're just making it drier than that used tampon chicken you made for Valentine's Day.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Nice. Nice. See how it's kind of sticky? Not wet, but sticky. Beautiful. Well, there's your patty right there. No, just kidding. All right, let's make some patties right now. Now remember, these patties can't be well done, okay? Not with bison. It's got to be medium rare or rare. So if you don't like medium rare or rare burgers, don't do this. Beautiful. All right. There's one. You know they're perfect consistency when they try to almost stick to your hand, but they don't. There's two.
I'm about to stroke out listening to this. Stop slapping your goddamn meat so much. That is not the perfect consistency at all. He's overworking the hell out of that meat and ruining it even more. When you overwork the meat like this, you're pretty much turning it into rubber because you're activating all the muscle proteins, and you're also causing some of the fat to melt from the warmth of your hands.
You don't want to work your ground beef hard. You want to form it and get out. Once again, form the patty and get out. Lots of people are like, tap, 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 and they're tapping their hands together and all that. And they're forming a patty that basically is tougher than your shoe.
Ideally, you'd want to use fresh pre-made patties when cooking burgers since they're already in shape, plus they do a better job at holding in moisture.
They're almost done. Look at them. Oh, they smell great. They're almost done. Still a little pink on the sides here. I'm just going to wait a few more minutes. Never, by the way, never, write this down, never press down your patties. That's such a bad thing to do. It squeezes all the juice out of them. Look at those bad boys. Okay?
I mean, if you're making smash burgers, you do have to press down on a high heat to create a sear, which would trap all the juices inside. But otherwise, yeah, don't press down on normal patties. Those, however, are looking unnecessarily plump. And plumpness is usually a sign of undercooked meat. I'm sure he only cooked these bad boys for about 30 seconds on each side.
I'm going to show you how to build a hamburger. That's right. Normally I don't, I'll just show you the end product. But let's show you how I put it together. Grab yourself a bun. These are the King's Hawaiian buns. They're so sweet. They're delicious. Little drop of teriyaki because it is a teriyaki bison burger. Gonna slide that right on the bun. Beautiful. Look at that.
Again, the teriyaki makes no sense, but what's even worse is that he always uses untoasted buns. Guys, toasting your buns adds a nice little crunch, and if your burger is extra juicy, it'll be less likely to soak into the bottom bun.
Now before it cools down, grab yourself a piece of cheese so the heat starts melting it.
Oh my god. Just throw your cheese onto the patty during the last minute of cooking so it can melt, you dumb bastard. He always puts his cheese on top of cold patties and they never melt.
Slice of tomato right on top. Now I don't know if you have these. They always have them at Subway. They're called pepper rings or banana peppers or pepperoncinis or whatever you want to call it. I like this. Gives it a little extra kick. Put that right on there. Beautiful. And top it off once again. Little drop of teriyaki there. That's my teriyaki. Okay. We're going to put this right on top. Look how beautiful that is.
Yeah, none of this goes together at all, and he's pretty much just shilling his own teriyaki sauce thinking people are going to buy it after they witness a crime.
All right, here we go. Now I have to warn you, once again, this is going to be rare. So if you don't like rare, you might want to leave the room now.
So, Jack constantly undercooks his meat, sometimes to the point where you can see rivers of blood pouring out, like his son's nose. And instead of admitting that he fucked up, he calls his audience stupid. So sometimes when he makes something, he has to preemptively tell people why something looks so fucking awful, because he thinks it'll stop people from saying, "Hey, you're a nasty ass bitch." And you will see why Jack is a nasty ass bitch in a second.
Here we go. Oh yeah. Gorgeous. I know it's going to be beautiful. I just know it. Oh, nice and pink, the way I like it.
Jack, that phrase belongs in the bedroom, not in the fucking kitchen. This isn't cooked at all and you can still see the white bits of fat inside the meat, you fucking... That's blue. You got crown blue bison and cooked it to a blue rarity, you sick twisted son of a bitch. Imagine giving yourself salmonella, food poisoning, parasites, 5 strokes, and still being alive. Oh yeah, and still teaching people how to kill themselves.
But anyway, there it is, right there. Let's give it a try. Well, there it is. It's gorgeous. Okay, before I try it, I just want to say thanks to Crown Blue Bison. Don't forget, when you cook bison, it's either rare or medium rare. You go to well done and forget it. It's going to toughen up.
You already toughened it up when you added eggs, breadcrumbs, and then slapped the shit out of it.
All right, so let's give this baby a try.
I really don't know what the point of this bit is. Is the bison holding him hostage or something? Or is he doing that because he's about to throw up from eating raw meat? We don't really see him swallow his bite, so I'm pretty sure he spat it out off camera. I wish we were able to know what the Bison Company thought of this after seeing what this monster did with their creation. Anyways, that was pretty disgusting. Now let's go to King Cobra's kitchen and see what he's cooking up. First and foremost, I just want to say rest in peace KingCobraJFS. He is no longer with us. If he were alive today, I would most definitely want to know what he thinks about Jack choking his son.
Psyched! Fuck off, loser!
Like Cobra always said.
Children are more precious than rock and roll.
But enough about Cobra and kids, it's time to get to the meat of the video. Oh yeah, and shout out to Bite-Sized Cobra for compressing Cobra's very long videos into watchable sizes.
What is up, YouTube? So, rocking out with you the long way, chilling like an old school rock star villain, and we got our pan heated up on the stove.
Yeah, so Cobra and Jack kind of share a similarity right here. Jack is well known for not cleaning his grills because he thinks the rotten food adds flavor, and Cobra doesn't clean his pan either for the same reason. So, that's kind of why you see that black tar and those burnt crisps in the pan.
I'm gonna make a cardinal cherry bacon cheeseburger for your sick entertainment. There's a lot of bacon grease and hamburger grease in here. We're gonna use that to cook our stuff.
By the way, he's using these cordial cherries, but he's gonna go ahead and call them cardinal cherries for the rest of the video.
First thing you're gonna need is some bread for our sandwich bun. And we're gonna drop the bread into the pan on top of that grease. And if you think that just sounds ridiculously unhealthy, it's about to get worse. Now that our pan's ready to go, we're just gonna take the bread and drop it in there just like that. Now all that grease is gonna toast on the bottom for the inside of our sandwich.
Wow, even though he's toasting his bread in this black lagoon, at least he's actually able to toast something unlike Jack. I mean, he is toasting it in grease, so it's probably going to be soggy anyways.
I have a low self-esteem. I'll be the first to admit that. And sometimes, YouTube, it's not healthy to see myself or certain situations in such a cynical light. We got our tube of beef that we're going to put back in the fridge. Thick patty. That looks beautiful when I drop that right in there just like that.
So he doesn't slap the shit out of his meat like Jack does, but there is some slight discoloring on that beef which makes me a little nervous.
Look at that nice juicy thick patty. Look at that thick burger patty. Doesn't that look delicious? We got our Oscar Mayer thick cut bacon, and we're going to take 2 pieces of this deliciousness. Use whatever kind of bacon you like. Drop it in there. Here's our delicious bacon cooking up something proper. We'll start piling this bacon on 1 piece at a time. Now here's all the bacon piled up on top right there. That looks pretty good so far. Got that on frame? Excellent. I'm going to take and push that bacon down just a little bit so that way we can make room for our next ingredients.
Okay, so far, this at least looks somewhat more edible than what Jack made, but again, he cooked everything in a dirty black grease-covered pan.
Take a sprinkle of brown sugar and put it on top of that bacon. This will give it a nice flavor with that cheese. It'll caramelize with it. Oh yeah, now that's what I like to see.
Some people rub the brown sugar onto the bacon before cooking it, but I don't see the point in adding it after it's room temp. Also, it was looking a bit clumpy there. Unfortunately, it gets worse from this point.
I'm gonna take our mozzarella cheese. Yes, please. Sprinkle it on top. And then give it a drop in the microwave, man. Well, there we go. Still going? Alright, cool. The first burst is for 44 seconds. And then we'll do another burst for 34 seconds, and that will get the cheese perfect on top of this burger, because there's not that much cheese, mind you. So to help those cardinal cherries stick to the burger, I'm going to use some Jif creamy peanut butter. And I'm gonna spread it on our top bun. Remember, all that grease cooked under our top bun right here, that's gonna be where our peanut butter goes. Put it on top. There's that. Now I get to lick the fork because I'm the one making it. Let's see what that burger looks like before I put the chocolate on top. There it is, folks. There's that.
Okay, there's a few things to unpack here. I mean, his cheese is actually melted, unlike Jack's. But it looks like all that time in the microwave made his burger gush out some pools of grease on his bottom bun. So that thing is gonna get pretty soaked, unlike Jack's wife. But seriously, why add the fucking peanut butter? Oh my god. It kinda cooks like Will Ferrell and Elf. He adds the most random shit into his dishes like a kid who's been left home alone.
Now I'm going to take some of these chocolate covered cherries. It don't matter which one you use. I got some Queen Anne dark chocolate covered cherries right here. There is 4 left in this tray. I attempted this recipe last night and the recipe turned out good. However, there are a couple of mild filming mistakes that I had made that I wasn't happy with. Ugh. So you take 4 of these cardinal cherries, place them on top. Now I just stick them in the peanut butter, screw it. Now that we've got that on there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to squish these together a little bit closer so they land on the patty. Kind of give it a squish just a little bit.
Please don't squish it like that. This is just something not of this earth. And I mean that in a bad way. Why does the patty have an endless supply of grease? Well, I guess we'll have to see what he thinks of it after he tastes it.
And so it begins. That sandwich looks thick, ridiculous, greasy, and unhealthy. Am I able to even pick it up at this particular moment? Let's take a find out. Yeah. I got a bite of that chocolate and that peanut butter and that bacon. Oh yeah. Bomb ass cross section. Get the camera to focus. You can see where the Queen Anne's are bursting open on the inside. This burger is massive. And this is the kind of burger your doctor's gonna hate you for eating. This is the kind of burger. Good, that was righteous. Thank you for watching my cooking video. If you like the awesome junk food that I cook, subscribe for more. Bacon Cardinal Cherry Cheeseburger. Yeah.
Okay, I guess he loves it. What the fuck happened to the bottom bun, by the way? Did the grease dissolve it into a puddle on the plate? The sound of him crunching into those chocolate-covered cherries with each bite is giving me the shivers. I can't imagine tasting all that sugar covered in a bucket of used grease. Also, that fucking hair coming out of the bun would probably give me a case of projectile vomiting. Well, there you have it, guys. 2 absolute culinary abominations. I honestly can't decide which of these I would rather eat. It's like, on one hand I would get pretty sick, but then on the other hand, I would get pretty sick. Let me know which one you would rather eat in the comments because I'm curious to know what you guys think of these burgers. Also, let me know if you guys think I should do more of these Would You Rather videos because it was kind of fun making this. That's going to be it for today's video, but before I go, I will say that I am currently working on part 2 of my recent Jack video, and I'm seriously considering doing a video on that EDP documentary. Alright everyone, I hope you're all having a good day, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.